G'day, Shane here. Welcome to Bernie's compound. This is part 2 of the engine swap in a Tomberlin Punisher buggy. Okay, basically as you can see I haven't really done much except piece it all back together as it was in the scooter that I got it out of. And basically after I get downloading a wiring diagram off Google, made it a little bit easier just trying to determine all which wires are which. So I've managed to sort it all out, but after mucking around for a week, and then ended up being a lot of just little simple things. You got this little side stand here. Well, I just got that earthed out on the exhaust at the moment just to basically get it up and running. I've used one of the old hoses off the scooter as well, so I've got to replace that, but I haven't been to the shop to get anything like that. Also fitted an isolator as well, so just a safe thing to have on buggies, I suppose. As you can see, it's just wiring everywhere, but it's an organised mess. And I've got the airbox just sitting in there because I haven't come up with a airbox yet. I've got a design that I've actually made which is sort of incorporates the airbox and all the wiring all together in one box separate, but the airbox is going to be like a two-stage system, so it'll have a little bit that sits at the front here, and then it'll come out the side here up into a box up here. We'll have a filter in that, so hopefully that should solve that problem, because you don't want to modify that too much, but you've got to try and keep the same sort of volume, I suppose, to keep everything working right, because this is all computer and fuel injected. I've also got this little actuator that I got off the scooter, so I'm going to fit that, which actually pulls the cable which opens the petrol tank, and that's the final position of the petrol tank, because it just seems to fit in neat, tidy. Alright, from there, so everything is basically wired up and ready to start. So I'll give it a demo. I had it running a week ago, so hopefully it's still running. All the gauges moved, no fuel pump. You can hear the fuel pump. Hit this button. Sounds great. Sounds real good actually. It sounds like a GY6 150 on steroids. Actually it doesn't sound too far off being like a bloody Yamaha 250 4-stroke, to be honest. Sounds like it's going to have a bit of oomph in it. Alright, so there you go, it's actually up and running. All I've got to do is sort of this wiring out, tidy it all back up, make that airbox, and then the last thing on the hit list is the gearing. I've got all that sorted out, so that'll be the last thing I put on. Okay, so there you go for that. And then I also decided to make some new seats. Here you go, here were the old seats. Like, they're good seats. You know, they sort of remind me of an old 60s kitchen style seat. I thought, well, I'm going to use them for that, so I'm going to put some legs on it and put them in my kitchen. If they don't look any good in the kitchen, I'll put them on my veranda. But yeah, the only problem with them is it doesn't matter how tight you put the bloody belts up, you've always got one arse cheek hanging off the seat. So you needed something you could actually sit in and instead of sitting on, if you know what I mean. So I actually built these seats here out of 1.6mm sheet. I sort of drew up a design on a piece of sheet and could squeeze 2 seats into that sheet. There you go, I put some shape in the sides. So they're all welded together. They all get bolted in. As you see, I finish it off with a sort of a matching paint job for the rest of the buggy. And also added that GT stripe just for something different. Looks pretty good, but anyway, I've got the, as you can see, I've got pinch seal running around all the edges, keep any sharp edges all the way. I've also got heat shielding. I bought a whole pack of this off eBay a couple of years ago, and I've used it on a couple of my buggy seats and it works well. It keeps the heat off your back, because these are going to get probably especially hot because they're steel. But in saying that, the exhaust actually sits right underneath. You can see it there. So it's only going to get basically engine heat. But there's your finish off seat, all fitted up, belts on it. Might be a bit dark in here, but there you go, it's all fitted up. And actually, believe it or not, they're not that bad to sit in. Like on a hot summer's day you wouldn't want to sit in it, it'd be like sitting in a fry pan. But I reckon in a winter's day it'll keep you nice and warm. But I didn't build them just to sit on a piece of tin. I actually got some high density foam that I was going to cut up, put a cover on it, and have some Velcro strips running in there so it all sits in well. With the passenger seat, we'll just chuck some pillows or something in it. Otherwise, they turned out pretty good. You know, look, the sky's the limit with making seats. You could just keep bending here and bending there and doing this and filling it full of holes, but I just kept it simple. I couldn't be bothered. You know, it only took me a grinder, a welder and a few clamps, and that was it, job's done. You could do 2 of these in a day, painted, fully fitted basically. They're that quick. And by the time you put a cushion in it, they're going to be heaps better. And the luxury is, you're not going to be sliding off the seat, there's nowhere to go. So I think it's a pretty good addition, and they look pretty flash too sitting in there compared to the old bright red seats. Otherwise, she's looking pretty good, and I'd say in about another week I'll probably have all that pretty much sorted out. I've already got the steel sitting out there to make the box. It's just a matter of getting in and welding it all up together and making it fit. And then with the airbox, I've got to come up with the second part of the airbox that'll sit here, and just tidy all the little wiring up and it should be all good. Otherwise, I'll keep you posted on the next one. Hopefully the next one should be up and running and driving. There you go, so I hope you enjoyed this part of Bernie's compound, and thank you very much for watching.